What's going on, guys? Quint69 here. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a very quick guide on the inner set dungeon. So let's get straight into it. To get to the inner set dungeon, just go to Act 2, City of Chaldeum, just the main camp, literally just hidden camp, whatever. Boom. That puts you right here. You just run up to the north to the Chaldean Bazaar. Go through there. You just avoid all these monsters and crap. There's a bunch of dudes that'll try and stab you and stuff. Just watch out for these guys. And what you're heading towards is the flooded causeway. You just go straight into that little hole right there. Once that's finally loaded, just run in, go to your right, and right before the exit, it'll just be right there. Boom. Dungeon of the Inner's Mantra. Okay, so you made it to the set dungeon. Now comes the hard part. Actually completing it and getting it done with the master status, boys. Because we're masters, and we ain't got time for the small plays. So, you've got the objectives on the side. Kill 334 enemies without taking fatal damage. That means you can't die. Okay, dying is very hard to do. The monsters basically do no damage, and they have very little health pulls. But, you can easily die to frozen. Which is why I am using a Talisman of Anaruk, so it makes you immune to the frozen damage. But, okay, you can see one of the objectives says, do not get frozen. If one of the explosions does hit my character, I won't die, but I will fail the rift. Okay, so you still cannot get hit by frozen, but trust me, you're going to want the cold immunity amulet if you're going to do this. Because the amount of damage the initial spawn of the frozen, it is tuned so damn high, it will just instantly kill you. The frozen will just appear on the ground and boom, you're dead. If you don't have it, it's going to be pretty much impossible to do this. So trust me, get the cold immunity amulet, equip it to your character. Okay, now here comes the next hardest part. Unleash your mystic allies when there are at least 10 enemies within 10 yards. Okay, that sounds easy, but it's actually extremely hard. 10 yards is like this. It's seriously, it's tiny. It's tiny, boys. So what I'm doing, you can see here, as I'm running up, you'll see me run in. I'm going to gather like 10 enemies. I'm like counting. Okay, that's about 10. Cyclone them in. Right click, unleash Mystic Ally. Boom, 11 allies. I mean, I only got 11 enemies. And like, do you see how many monsters there were there? That was seriously so damn close. I was flipping lucky there, boys. So I'm going to run in again. Kind of manipulate the monsters. Okay, it's a battle against time. Cyclone. Right click. Boom! And that's how you do that objective. Once you complete the Unleash Mystic Allies component, it becomes a race against time. So you then ignore the fact that you have to round monsters up, and you just go ham and you just try and kill the monsters as fast as possible. Obviously, you still cannot die or get frozen because you will fail at that point. Some really good advice is to, actually, if the first time you go in to do this rift, go around and study the map and decide on a path in which you are going to take. Because the map is the same every single time. The only thing that's random is the monsters. And that can sometimes screw you over. I had a few times where the monster layout was just horrendous. They were just spread apart like little rats everywhere. And, you know, you couldn't group up 10 monsters fast enough. And it was just really bad. And other times, like this rift here, for example, where I completed the first objective, you know, within the first like half of the map, which is pretty insane. I mean, it wasn't crazy good, but you know, definitely there is a little bit of RNG involved. But if you are failing over and over again, it's not because of gear. I've literally taken off all my paragons. I'm using crappy gear intentionally. My character has about 150,000 sheet damage. The reason why I've dropped so much sheet damage is because obviously you've got a bunch of Mystic Allies out. And your Mystic Allies are actually going around and hitting things really fast, and it's really hard to pull things together and actually right-click fast enough before your Mystic Allies kill it. So you are going to want to drop all the damage from your character. Ways of doing this are literally just rolling dexterity off your gear, taking pieces off. The only thing you need on is, you know, the inner set. Otherwise, you can just put on whatever. Preferably stuff with cooldown reduction and, you know, utility stats like movement speed. A really nice little thing to end it with, actually. There's another little thing I was doing. I actually took out the green gem from my weapon and put a white gem in. Because the elites actually have a lot of health. And it's nice that the elites die fast, you know, at the same kind of rate in which the whites do. So you don't have that kind of big offset. But otherwise, that's it, boys. That's how you complete the Master Inners set dungeon. Hopefully you enjoyed the guide. I'm going to do guides for all of the monk set dungeons, so do not worry. Stay tuned.